if you can really break it down to the irrelevance of what's going on externally, and all of it is just a catalyst for you to see, going back to what I said, like where you're not free, then it changes, it just reframes the way you relate to everything. Because everybody is still so focused externally. The exogenous means of finding my freedom, and most people, of course, think it's going to be found through more money.
In a future-based proposition.
Yeah, that's where my joy is. And when I'm like, all you keep reinforcing is the idea that you're not where you're meant to be, which is now you are in suffering, which of course is only going to inspire you to want to get to the future because you're in suffering. Not realizing that you're the one that is actually creating the suffering, right? Like that's the thing that fascinated me going back to the mind. I realized like there's this one brain within the mind in terms of your own conditioning that is creating a future that you're potentially worried about, or the concern for like, well, what about this or what about that? Whatever it is, fill in the blank. Everyone's got a million of them. Not realizing, and then you come back to present time, reflecting on the superimposition of a future that you don't want or you're concerned about. There's this avoidant energy. And so that one brain that created that is now in present time trying to reconcile, how do I avoid it? Not realizing that you made it up in the first place. And then you wonder why people drink so much.
It's like playing cat and mouse with yourself.
Yeah. And then people are exhausted.
Yeah.
So once you start to see like the mechanical, the formulaic nature of how the brain works, which is really to predict and protect, right? Like it does its job. It's a survival instrument. But beyond the primal needs of survival, which I'd say nowadays, I mean, it's still a sketchy world, but like we're beyond what was at once, like you really are in danger just by leaving your cave, right? Because you don't like talk about uncertainty, like you really don't know what's out there in terms of potential animals that could take you down. And now it's just a different form of perceived threat, right? But it doesn't have the same significance about it. But in terms of our central nervous system, it still has the same impact. And this is why, again, sadly, people are on a lot of prescribed drugs, and now they become even more compromised. Going back to my bike image, you know, the bike is leaning more and more, and you have less capacity to bring it back to balance. So we're all fucked.